Hey, what's up? I'm posting this to the internet mainly as just a challenge to myself and just get me out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I apologize if the gameplay is ass. The intent was to get this all done basically in one day. Uh, but for this, I just wanted to talk about something, just anything really. And what came across my mind was how do you deal with the wrongdoings of the past, right? So let's just get into that. I'm sure a lot of you, and myself included, have done things that we regret or said things that we wish we didn't and look back on and maybe cringe, maybe smile because it's so silly and just stuff like that. Or maybe it just devastates you still. And I think usually people have a combination of all of that. And I think it can influence you a lot in how you think about the future and what you're doing currently. And I know I'm struggling with that, you know? I look back and I think of some of the things that I've said or done to people, and it's just like, is that who I am? You know, but it's weird because you get stuck in this mindset of like, this is who you are. Watch, there's proof. Look back at what you did and blah blah blah. And even if you've moved on from it, even if you've improved as a person, I think a part of that will still linger on until you fully sort of accept it. And I've really been struggling with that. Getting out of high school now. I'm an adult. High school drama. It's high school. You once you grow up, you look back on, you're like, wow, that's stupid. And for the large part, yeah, I look back on it. It's silly. It's stupid. It's dumb. It was just emotional. Blah 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 drama, right? But some of it, you look back on, you're like, is this where I'm rooted as a person? Yeah, it makes you question, as I said, who you are and what is it you actually are willing to do and what can you do? And if you get thrust in a situation, how are you going to act? It makes you worry about all these things. What's the future going to entail? How are you going to handle that in the future? Are you going to go back to clearly what's primal, I guess, what primal personality traits you have or something? I don't know. Uh, but ultimately, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think about yourself because of some things you did in the past. What matters is that you think that it's wrong. You know that it's wrong and that you learn from it. And it's so silly that your mind will just keep you trapped almost. Keep you trapped and look, this is who you are. No, 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 no. You can't do that. And I know at least for me, it's just I'm fearful of putting myself out there and growing and doing things that I want to do because I'm fearful of that base evil trait of mine poking around the corner and like the devil on the shoulder kind of thing. And it's so silly because I know it's a logical fallacy, but it just keeps lingering there. I'm just worried. And funnily enough, that's a good thing in a way, and I'll explain that. I think it's just a good thing in a way because it means I know. It means I know it's wrong. I know that I shouldn't do those things. I shouldn't say those things to my friends. It's just wrong. And I've moved on from it already. Improved so much within just 3 years, 4 years even, and it's weird because I'll compare myself. I'll compare myself to others who went out of the same drama situation and seen how much they've improved. And comparison is the thief of joy. You can't compare yourself to others because maybe they don't struggle with that. Maybe they don't struggle with this influencing them, their wrongdoings of the past influence them, controlling their actions, what they do. Maybe for them it's just, oh, well, let's never do that again, and then they move on, which is what it should be. And when you think about it, yeah, that's the logical conclusion you come to as well. It's like, well, it happened. The best thing I can do is learn and move on. And it's easier said than done, right? And that's something I've really struggled with after getting out of high school. Is just looking back and man, some of the things me and my friends did. And it's scary in a way. I don't want to do those things. I'm a grown up now. I want to explore my hobbies. I want to be free of mind to just focus on these things because I have to. I'm not going to be able to become successful if I keep having these things dragging me down and almost like a sense of, how do you describe it? Like imposter syndrome, but I don't know if it's imposter syndrome, but it certainly feels like it's like I don't deserve to be here almost, because it's like, oh, I did all these things in the past. Well, who cares? You know, you're not that person anymore, and you're obviously doing things that put you in a place to be where you are. It's just frustrating. It's so frustrating to be in a battle with your brain of like, hey, no, dude, chill out, you're good. And, you know, constantly fighting the lingering devil that's like, oh, what if he comes back? What if he comes back? What if I, I don't know, just go back to acting stupid? And, I mean, yeah, it's fair to have that fear, you know, because you know what happens. You know the result. You've learned from it already, so you know what's going to happen if you do something stupid and dumb. And I guess my way of moving on from that is just doing things anyways. Even if I'm scared that, something might come up from the past, even if I'm worried about whatever, I want to do the stuff I want to do. And that's what this video is mainly for. It's just getting out there, exploding out in the universe, and just sending it to the void, sending my thoughts to the void, sending it somewhere, instead of just bottling it up all the time. Is it right to put every single thought that you have bottled up on the internet? Probably not. And, it's good to curate those sorts of things. And, it's not bad to have secrets. It's not bad to have things that linger on your mind that you won't tell anyone. That's normal. It's human. Babies keep things away. Well, maybe not babies, but, like 2-year-olds. 2-year-olds lie. 2-year-olds keep things away. It's human nature to want to protect yourself socially. And I don't think there's anything wrong with, keeping some private matters to yourself. I mean, it's normal. It's human. And, I guess I feel a lot of solace in that. I can move on. I can just be a better person. If my actions determine who I am, then I will act accordingly. And, whether I use those fears to, never do those again, or I just get a better thought pattern, I guess, then so be it. If I can get good things done, then I will, because I want to. And I guess that sort of freedom of just letting go, just let go, and, be the person you want to be. Don't let your thoughts of who you once were control you now. You're you now. You're not you then. You're you now. You know what you did. You know what you've improved on. You know where you can go. And if you don't know where you can go, then you most certainly know what not to do. And that in itself is kind of guidance. And that hope, I guess, that brings, that freedom, is what helps you move on from, thinking about it, lingering on it. And once you start to get the ball rolling and doing things, I think you'll feel a lot better about it. And that's why I'm making this video, ultimately. I'm a really shy person, really nervous, and I think a lot of that has to do with me thinking, oh, what does this person think about me, and stuff like that, because I was worried about it in the past after I did stupid things, and like, oh, that was stupid, what does this person think of me now? And I think that still affects me today. Recent example is I went to my guitar lessons sometime in December, and I just wasn't figuring it out. It was basic concepts that he's told me about before, and my brain was off, and I just beat myself up so hard that lesson. And he wasn't even doing anything that wrong, He was maybe pushing me a little bit, but he was doing that because he wants me to improve, right? And that's another problem I've had. I've always struggled to realize that there's people out there for you. There's people willing to help me. I have friends, I have people that have loved me, that are there for me. People that do still love me, that are there for me. It's just weird that your mind doesn't think about those things, and I think your mind so easily grasps on the negative, and it pulls you down sometimes. But I think it's possible to just sort of change the way you think. Just whenever you notice yourself going down that negative spiral, just take a step back and think about it, you know? Think about how many people are there still for you, how many people care about you. And funnily enough, I think it's my disbelief that caused me to do a lot of those stupid things in the past. You know, I could never understand that somebody saw potential in me. And it led me to act like I had no potential. And it's just not true. And I think as you grow up, you start to realize that you're your own man or woman. You know, you can make whatever you want out of yourself. You just got to do it. Now, you run into problems sometimes, right? The internet itself can be a barrier to that. I mean, we've seen people get canceled and blah, 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 and stuff like that. And I don't think it's wrong to call people out for their wrongdoings. But the internet can be cruel and harsh. And I think that's one of the reasons why I was so scared to put things out there on the internet. It's like, what if somebody, you know, what if I do something by accident in the future and they just call me out and it destroys everything and blah, 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 blah. And it's so fearful, you know, it's such a fearful thought. I mean, there's not much you can do about that, right? You can become uncancelable, you know, like Schlatt or whatever, but I mean, that fear's still there. You know, you don't want that stuff to happen, and I wish the internet could be a lot more tolerable. Now, I know that's not going to happen. You know, the anonymity of the internet leads you to be able to say whatever you want to whomever you want and not get punished for it. Well, unless you get canceled. But then it's because people know who you are. I think it's tough. You know, I think it's good to have that voice out there to help people realize their wrongdoings. But I just wish the internet was also there to just let people improve. You know, if they do something wrong and they come back and they're better, I think that's a really good thing. I think it's good that they stepped out of whatever shell, whatever trap they put themselves in mentally of like, this is who they are, they must act stupid and wrong. And I think it's good that they broke out of that and are improving. I think it obviously varies depending on what said person did, but I just wish the internet also helped these people along, and to a certain extent I think it does. I think we've seen it multiple times where somebody will do something, get canceled, come back, and then he'll have a tighter knit community that supports him. Very rarely, but I think it's only people who truly change or truly become better within themselves that garner this closer community that realize that they've changed, realize that they're a better person. So I think the internet can, you know, as a being, I guess, the internet body can support people changing and becoming better. I just think the way the general culture is fairly negative, and I think that can have, I think that can affect people's mindset, and it's sad. But I think if we make more videos like this, where it's just somebody talking about it, just somebody saying, you know, who cares? You know, stop worrying about all these different little things, because if you worry about every little problem that might come up, you're never going to get anywhere. And, you know, this video probably has a ton of problems, you know, I don't know, I probably have like a speech impediment, I have long pauses, whatever. But I'm just doing it anyways. Why? Because I can. That's it. It's just a protest against myself. I have this weird mental barrier where I feel like I can't do anything. And I don't want to do that anymore. I guess I hope this video can help me sort of break out of my shell, and I hope it inspires other people to break out of their own shells too. I don't really have like a good set people to action sort of thing planned or anything for this, but I think it's good to just analyze yourself. Think about it. Think about your situation. And, you know, I don't know your situation. Maybe there's things that I've never encountered before, so I don't know how you could get out of it. But I think a good first step is to just realize that there are people out there that care about you. And if there's not, and if you truly believe that, shoot a shot in the dark on the internet, and you might find people who do. Ultimately, I just hope this video helps people get comfortable with themselves, because I know for a long time I wasn't. And I'm tired of it. I want to be comfortable with myself. I want to make things that I enjoy, and I want to help other people out. And I think that's human nature. Ultimately, I don't think it's ever too late. I think the best time is now. You know, to just go out there and make something. Do something. Why not? The internet's, well, posting things free. Might not be forever, so I say do it while you can. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Completely unscripted. Again, this is a challenge to just get it out in one day, so this is a first take, and I'm probably going to leave it as that. Because it's a protest, you know, against myself, worrying too much about things. So you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to look through and make sure I don't do anything stupid with my filter that I have now, but I'm not going to linger on and worry about it. Anyways, have a good day. See you guys later.